Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we're going through the priority tier list for the level 70. So we have been asking which level 70 should they go for, or what level 70 Esper I'm going for my first one. So cause every patch now, at least for now, every patch will only give 5 level mon, and it's enough for you to get 1 Esper to level 70, which is a very late game content. It's like you already finished everything else in the game, and then you have been repeating the same thing at the end game now, and finally they release something and you have a lot of resources like stamina pack, exp mon, and then you are able to level 1 Esper to level 70. And which one would you go, assuming they don't sell the level mon in the plaza copium? But assuming they don't do that, so every patch there's only 1 level 70 Esper, right? So I'm going to go through my own priority tier list. Like I'm going to go through PvE, I'm going to go through PvP, and why am I going for that? The first thing I would say, I will not level up level 70 or the support Esper. Why? So I know that the support Esper is going to get a captain leader buff increase. For example, I think the most famous choice will be Chuyao. A lot of you actually want to up Chuyao because of the 5% speed for the 30% speed leader buff, right? But in my opinion, I don't think it's that important. It's because in terms of PvP, right, speed is no longer the factor that define you win or lose. Like in a very long time ago, maybe 1 year ago, we have speed meta, who take the action first, who wins. But in the current PvP in this, like, speed is no longer the main priority thing for you to go for, because there's a lot of changes in this. Like for example, one of the big changes for the upcoming patch is the blessing. So the blessing here might actually change your playstyle and might actually change your team build as well, unless you're playing Moriyama build and you're trying to go for the first fast, right? You want to take the action first. Other than that, speed shouldn't be a factor for you. And in terms of PvE, so for example, if I'm going to level 70 my Chuyao here, it will only give me from 25% to 30%. So it's a universal 30 speed. But in terms of PvE, usually if I really want to go for speed, I'll go for some Esper who can provide speed leader buff. For example, the newest one, Lapis, PvE 35% speed leader buff. So I don't really need to chase for a universal speed leader buff just for the captain leader, because Chuyao will only mainly. The reason we are using Chuyao is because the speed leader buff, the main important here is the assist, but the level 70 here, the main impact is the stats boost itself. The stats boost is what makes the level 70 so strong. It's not because of the leader buff. I think the leader buff is a minor increase, but I don't think that is the main point. So I won't upgrade all the support Esper. I would actually go for the main Esper or DPS Esper. So let me share you my own filter out Esper. Alright, so these are the few Esper that I filtered out that I think that they are worth to go level 70 in my own opinion. So you realize that all these Esper here doesn't have a support Esper. They are mainly in a certain point it's a DPS Esper, or a certain point it's a main Esper in a certain team. Like for example, if you really want to go for Feng Shun, it's also fine, because Feng Shun does like sub DPS, right? But I won't pick Feng Shun. Mateo is a good DPS, but I won't pick Mateo because Mateo usually is a sub DPS instead of a main DPS. I won't go for like TA, I won't go for like Chuyao for the speed leader buff, because I think that is not the main point if you want to go for level 70. Okay, then for example like Nathaniel, I think Nathaniel at level 60, even at R0, maybe R2, or maybe R6, his nuclear bomb is actually high enough damage to nuke everyone already, which I think he doesn't need the level 70 as well. Like I know Sakura, you guys might actually talk about like Sakura go until level 70 will be very annoying, which I agree, because it will become like higher max HP, disgusting, because you can't kill Sakura. Sakura can fully heal herself. Sakura can do max HP damage. With all these things, yes, I agree, like Sakura can become like a raid boss or a world boss when you go until level 70, but I don't think Sakura level 70 will bring a big changes to your team, right? So overall, this will be the Esper that I filter out that I will go for level 70. Then now I'll go through which Esper I'll go for level 70 first. So I'm going to separate into PvE and PvP content. So depends on which which path you're going for. So if you are a PvP player, in my opinion, I would say Moriyama will be the highest priority. So I'm going for left to right. The priority tier list is left to right. I would say this is the highest priority if you're playing PvP content, because Moriyama team is very famous in PvP content, and Moriyama really needs his attack stats boost. He needs the skilling too much. Like if your attack is lower than the enemy, then Moriyama is basically kind of useless in a way. So I think if you really want to go for level 70, and if you're a PvP player, then Moriyama is your main focus in my opinion. Okay, then after Moriyama, I would say it will be Wu Yu. Because Wu Yu, if you're Wu Yu is still very famous in the PvP team, and Wu Yu defense will just instantly buff Wu Yu damage deal, right? So I would say Wu Yu is also one of the main point here. Then okay, I forgot about Sui Zai. I will put Sui Zai higher than Wu Yu, because Sui Zai Wu Yu can get countered by Zihe, just by Zihe herself. But I would say Sui Zai is the second priority in the PvP content. Depends on if you are playing Moriyama more or if you are playing Sui Zai more. Okay, so I think it will be the second priority for Sui Zai, because attack and defense, Sui Zai R6 will get benefit for the boost. So the more base stat you have, the more stats you're gonna get, the more passive the boost is able to boost you. Then the next one, I would say somewhere like Momo, Jinchu, then Suje. I think this will be the PvP priority. So maybe you can like switch around Wu Yu to and Momo, depends on what team you play more. But if you play a Wu Yu team more, then Wu Yu will be a third priority. So in my opinion, like this, like why Jinchu is here, because I think Jinchu actually get a lot of benefit from the level 70, cause attack skilling and defense skilling, basically his damage double up. Because attack stats increase by 46%, defense stats increase by 46%, and Jinchu get bonus damage from attack and defense. So basically he get a 90% boost somewhere there. So in my opinion, Jinchu is also worth for level 70, and I believe actually a lot of players actually going for level 70 Jinchu. Then I will rate Suje slightly lower, is because most of the time, if at higher tier, Suje is not a main DPS. Suje is more like a passive damage dealer, and most importantly is the feudal rights to delay your teammate die, right? So I would say Suje will be at the lower tier. So with these 6 Esper, my own priority go for, if you're a Moriyama player, then Moriyama will be your highest priority, but it requires a certain reso, maybe somewhere R2 to R4. Then I'll say Sui Zai, but need R6, Wu Yu here R0, Momo as high as possible, Jinchu around R6 I think, then Suje R0 to R6. Then for PvE, definitely Elif. Elif will be carrying you all your Placido Fantasy, and I believe level 70 Elif will just break the score. Then Elif will help you in Desolate Land, Elif will do APEC for you, Elif will do Yinglong for you as well. So for PvE wise, I would say Elif will be the highest priority. Then I would say Slon will be your second priority. Basically, it's like lower tier than Elif. Like after I done Elif, if I don't really care about PvP, then I will go for Slon. Then the next one I would say is Yuhime. Yuhime is actually performing very well in PvE for Sato Fantasy currently, but she needs R6 to perform it very well. Then the next one I would say is Embla. So you will notice that most of the Esper that I filter out, they are the DPS Esper instead of the support Esper. Alright, because when I done with the DPS Esper like Elif, Slon, then maybe I'll start considering with the other speed leader buff for PvE content, because I want to focus more on PvE than PvP. But yeah, basically that's it. Okay, you guys can feel free to share out your own thoughts about which Esper you're going for your level 70. Feel free to comment down, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is Gen MP, Yakishiba Tears, Epic Bullet Boy, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter and patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwatts, Rimu, Tawny, Antonio Winterspoon, Cragren, Riku Fred X Iris, Calamity, Rocco Stensions, Jordan Alons, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest 10. Thank you so much for Code Wardeners, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku, Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for your support.